What is up, guys? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video. And here we are, folks. This is the video that a lot of people request me to make. This will be one of my longest videos I make. Because this is the most controversial state in electoral politics currently in America. This state is going to be such a challenge to predict for the next 10, 20 years that I have to make an entire 20-minute video on this probably. It's probably going to be like 20, 30 minutes at the most. And we are, of course, talking about the state in yellow, Minnesota. So before we start with this possible marathon of a video, if you guys do enjoy these type of videos, hit the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, and yes. So here we are, the state of Minnesota. This is the controversial state for one reason alone. This state is nearly impossible to predict which way it's going to swing. Now, before we even talk about demographics, before we even talk about results, I just want to give you a comparison of what I'm talking about. What you're talking about that this is a weird state to predict now. Let's go to Kenosha. There was terrible riots that happened in Kenosha County in August, or September, I should say, of 2020. Swung 3 points towards Trump. Trump's campaign handled the Kenosha area pretty well. They actually had Law and Order ads playing heavy in the Kenosha area. And the riots did help Trump in Kenosha, right? So you would think, then if that's the case, Minneapolis, which has been fired for months, should swing heavy toward the Republicans, correct? Oh boy, do I have disappointment for you. This was the shocker of the night. I had a feeling that some of the suburbs in Minneapolis would swing like a point or two Democrat, but I didn't expect Anacoa and Wright and Hennepin counties swing that Democrat. I expected Hennepin to swing Republican than anything. But instead, it was a massive shift towards Democrats. And I mean, this is just absurd how much of a swing this is. 8%, 8.7%, 8.7%, Dakota 9.3%. In the bellwether of the state, Washington swung 7.5 points Democrat. Yeah, this is why I'm saying that Minnesota for the future is going to be very hard to predict. Extremely difficult. For many reasons. Especially the Minneapolis area. And this may look like terrible news for the Democrats or Republicans. It's over in Minnesota. It's completely over. Yada, 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 yada. Before we even talk about like the rest of the state, Minneapolis is the main focus for now. And I gotta say one thing about one of these counties. Washington County. Swung 7.5 points for Democrat. Just ignore it. This is the bellwether for the state of Minnesota. It's gonna basically swing how the state swings. Swings like 6 points Democrat, will swing 6 points Democrat. Swings a couple points Republican, couple points Republican. So, calm down at Washington County. Just ignore this county right here. Because this is just be the bellwether. It's just swing based on how the state does. I want to talk about these northern suburban counties, right? Suburban, Wright, and Anacoa. I know I butchered that name. Suburban, I should say. I butchered that name. I'm sorry. Don't roast me in the comments, please. The point is, I want to focus on these three counties. Because these are counties that, quite frankly, Trump should be doing significantly better, in particular in Anacoa County. So these are three suburban counties. Maybe ask yourself, why should Trump, the orange man, be doing much better in Anacoa, in Wright, and Suburban? Look at the amount that's bachelor's degree or higher. Only 29.6% in Wright County. 30.5%. 26.6% in Suburban. While in Dakota, 42.2%. Washington, 44.3%. Hennepin, 50.1%. Ramsey, 42.3%. You get the trend? These are not your traditional suburbs that the election mafia would make you think they are. They are working class suburbs. And the fact that Trump is only getting 65%, 63%, not even cracking 50% in Anacoa, really? Republicans need to get their messaging on order. These are working class blue collar voters. The Republicans could max out. They should be getting Anacoa County 55% of the vote. This is a working class county. And again, it's a little bit less white, but still 79.7% white. Again, it's not a traditional suburb. It's a working class suburb that just out of the blue just swung 7.7 points Democrat. Now, again, this is what you would consider a small town suburb, I guess. So, what do I mean by that? Well, in Wisconsin, outside of like Waukesha to an extent, these quote-unquote suburbs in a lot of the state are basically small towns. They're small towns, they're more rural than anything, but they're considered suburbs. And well, that's essentially what it is in Anacoa County. There's a lot of small-ish towns in the area that is working-class blue-collar voters. And that is why this is a county Trump should be getting 60% of the vote in. I mean, for Pete's sake, you go to a lot of these counties in Wisconsin, Wapaka, Brown County, Outagamie, Kelmont, Winnebago even. Trump got 59%, 54%, 52.7%, 65% of the vote. And a lot of these counties are quite similar on a lot of things with Anacoa, right? The point is, Trump should not be getting just this much of the vote. He should not be getting 49.7% of the vote. He should be getting 55% of the vote in Anacoa at least. Now again, I'm not saying that, he should be getting 80% of the vote. I'm just saying 55% of the vote Trump should be getting in Anacoa County. It's a working class county. Very similar thing in Wright County, especially true in Suburban. In fact, in Suburban, he should be getting 70%. Wright County, 65%. He should not be getting just 60% of the vote. Now, future Republicans, with them becoming more populist on economic issues, cultural conservatives, social traditionalists, all that stuff, these counties will begin to get more Republican. Especially Anacoa County. I expect to crack 55% Republican in the future. But as of now, we just gotta look at it as, Trump only want to buy 2. Which is absurd, that's all he want to buy. But that's here or there. We get the point, though, that these are the working class suburbs. What do you do about Scott County or Carver County, however? And even Dakota County? These 2 counties are the 2 counties that are actual concern for the Republicans. Carver County is 49% bachelor's degree or higher. And it's 88.3% white. So realistically, the only thing that's keeping Carver County alive for the Republicans is how white it is. Now, this is a county that surprisingly very similar demographics to a certain Waukesha. Trump still got 59.6% of the vote here. So is Scott. Scott County, similar deal, 39.9%. He should not be getting 52% of the vote here, right? So, point is this. Carver County, Republicans should be getting 54 or 55% of the vote here. It's not that establishment compared to Waukesha, right? But he should still not be getting just 51% of the vote here. He should be getting 54, 55%. Scott County, this is another one that just blows my mind. The Republicans keep screwing up. Only getting 52% of the vote in a county that's only 40% bachelor's degree? Really? And still 80% white? That should be 60% Republican! And it's not even that many, establishment Republicans live there. In fact, in Scott County, did swing Republican in 2016. If you discount third-party voters, Trump probably got more of the vote than Romney did. So, it's just pathetic that these counties swung this heavy Democrat, right? When there is a lot of those more traditional Republicans that don't really like Trump, but they should still be voting Republican. But instead, you have idiots like Paul Ryan going out there campaigning and be like, we need to return the Reaganism where the orange man has a cult. You're hurting yourself in Carver County and Scott County. What are you telling the voters there? So because this guy isn't exactly like Reagan, we can't vote for him? Okay, we're not going to vote or vote third party. It's absurd what the Republican establishment is doing. But that's it for the Minneapolis area. You get the point that the northern suburbs, they're more working class, southern suburbs, bit more establishment, but people like Paul Ryan is screwing it up. A little bit of a Trump because his messaging right away after the Minneapolis riot started, not the best. But I want to talk about the rest of the state because this is what frustrates me the most. These are blue-collar Democrats in the rural part of the state. These are old-fashioned Democrats that go way back. These are working-class voters. And just go up here to northern Minnesota. Just go up here. You can't crack 60% of the vote in these counties. You get close to 59.7, but you still can't crack 60. Folks, you want to know what the demographics are for this county? Cushion County, I think that's how you say it. 59.7% of the vote. 15% is white or bachelor degree or higher. So 84.5% of the vote is working class voters. You just go one county over. Lake of the Woods County, 16.7% of the vote are not considered those traditional working class voters. Yet Trump cracked 70% of the vote here. And you go up here, it's more white than Lake of Woods County. Yet Trump can't do better here? Or Republicans can't? Folks, these voters, they should be voting 70-80% Republican. They don't like the establishment crap of, oh, we're going to have nothing but tax cuts for the rich. We're going to have free and open trade. The borders will be wide open. You should be cracking 70% of the vote with these voters. And even these more central rural counties, right, like Otter Tail County, you should be cracking 80% of the vote here. This is stupid. Only 25% of the vote is bachelor degree or higher. And how much is white? 92.2%. You just go to South Dakota, Stutzman County, 23.7% of the vote is bachelor degree or higher. And 91.8% is white. So Otter Tail County is slightly more white and slightly more educated. Stutzman is 70.2%. Trump can't crack 65.4% of the vote here. Similar thing to all these other rural counties in the central part of the state. He should be cracking 70%. And I shouldn't say Otter County shouldn't be 80%, 70, 71%. But these other counties, Pine County, why aren't you cracking 80% of the vote here? I really want to know. Only 15% of the vote is bachelor degree or higher, and 89% white. Folks, there's a lot of voters to pick up in just the northern half of the state. Even St. Louis County will probably eventually flip. Like 2 election cycles from now, most likely will. Carleton County is borderline about to flip. Lake County is going to flip. Why can't Republicans max out working class voting support here? It just baffles my mind that Republicans have this huge voter base. And they just ignore it. And I'm even talking about the southern half of the state. Folks, why aren't you cracking 80% of the vote in Redwood County? Redwood. Let's see what the demographics are. Let's see here. Where is it? 19.1% bachelor degree or higher. Let me guess, 86% white. These counties should be voted like North Dakota counties. Like 75-80% of the vote. Not just 20 or like 50% of the vote or 60%. It should be cracking 80% in a lot of these counties. And like, how many counties are cracking 70%? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 counties voted for Trump with more than 70% of the vote. That is pathetic. A lot of these counties should be cracking 80%, not just 60%. And I'd even talk about the southeastern half of the state. Now, if you don't know, this was the old-fashioned blue-collar Democrats of the Driftless area. If you don't know what the Driftless area is, it's southeastern Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota to an extent, and northwestern Iowa. Or eastern Iowa. Southwestern Wisconsin, you get the point. This area of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa, this is the Driftless area. You go over here. Okay, let's just go over here to Iowa. 63% of the vote. 63, 60, 66.6, 63. What does he get here? 55, 51, 57, 59. Loses a couple of these counties. Loses Blue Earth County. Loses Nicole County. Folks, this is another county with an absolute shit ton of votes. And you still can't crack 60%. And I shouldn't say a ton of votes, but a decent amount for more rural counties. Yeah, these are counties Republicans should be cracking 80% of the vote with. So what do I say about the state overall, though? We get the point that Republicans have a lot of untapped voters in the outskirts of the state. And with my opinion of places like Carver and Scott County going to get slightly more Republican in the future, Anacoa especially will. And with Dakota County, I think, going to stop swinging so Democrat, and Washington County being the bellwether. What do I think the future of Minnesota will be? If Democrats win this election exactly like they did this time, I do believe Democrats would win Minnesota by around 3 or 4%. If the national environment was exactly the same. If it was D+2, I could see Republicans flipping the state. But as of now, it's another lean D state. Now, there are a couple good candidates statewide that could win some Senate elections there, some governorships, and some even more other House races. But as of now, I gotta say that Minnesota, for the foreseeable future, will be lean D to tilt D. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. This was a little bit longer. And you get the point that Republicans have so many untapped voters in the rural part of the state. They should be voting like South Dakota or North Dakota and South Dakota. They shouldn't be voting just by like 3% Republican. But anyways, hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, and yes, the most controversial state of the union is done. Minnesota is most likely to be lean D for the future. Thank you guys for watching.